Hello, and welcome back to the Chamber Vibes podcast. I'm your host, Foster Garrett, Director of Marketing and Events for the Bedford Area Chamber of Commerce. If this is listening to your first time listening to the podcast this morning, welcome. Just let me tell you a little bit about what's going on here, and I'll talk a little bit about what the chamber really is. So every week I interview a different chamber member to find out what they do and why they do it, recorded right here in beautiful Bedford, Virginia, broadcasting on Grove Street FM, and brought to you by Media Squatch. What is the Chamber? So the Chamber is a nonprofit membership organization formed by the business community for the business community. We work with all sorts of leaders, whether they be local government, commercial leaders, nonprofit executives, volunteers, anybody and anyone that is passionate about doing business in Bedford and wants to help our community thrive, whether it be through programming that serves all of our community or helps our specific chamber members. We do all sorts of things from this podcast to radio interviews to advertising to job fairs to legislative events. You name it, we probably do it. But if you want to learn more about us, I will provide our website and our phone number at the very end, so listen all the way through. But I also want to talk to you about some of our upcoming events. We actually have an event next week, next Thursday, February 6th, from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. at Fortress Foundation Solutions. We will be there for speed networking. So if you've been involved with the chamber in the past, or any chamber in the past, really, you know that chambers always have networking events that anyone is able to come to. It's not limited to just chamber members. And we have historically done before and after hours events that are only an hour long and are free and open to the public. And while that might have been super awesome before 2020, now I feel like we are all so busy and there's just always so much going on. So we want to be intentional with ensuring that you are able to come to a networking event and walk away with a plethora of connections, and also that you're able to spend your time really wisely. So we're having 2 speed networking events this year. If you've never done speed networking, it's better than speed dating. I haven't done speed dating, but just trust me. It's not awkward. It's going to be awesome. We'll provide lunch from Bridge Street Cafe. If you've ever eaten at Bridge Street Cafe, you know the food is delicious. And you will walk away having spent 3 hours of your time and with 49 new connections. And we have all sorts of people that are signed up for this event, from banks to nonprofits, civitan clubs, advertising agencies, insurance, you name it, it's probably there. There are also a lot of really interesting small businesses that have really unique purposes that will be there as well. So I really recommend signing up for that. It is a ticketed event, but there are discounts for chamber members, and it's really affordable compared to some of the other things that offer similar impacts. So I hope that you're able to make it to that. We'll be in Forest next Thursday during lunchtime for that. And that's actually the only event that we have going on in February. We have another event in March 4th. That is an annual event as well. It's our legislative wrap-up breakfast. If you've been to that before, you know that's also a great opportunity, but very different from some of our other events. We actually have a great relationship with all of our state legislators. And after the General Assembly session, we have them come to Cedar Oaks Farm, which is absolutely gorgeous. And they answer moderated questions with questions that have been taken from our membership in our community. You can actually submit a question online on the Legislative Wrap-Up Breakfast webpage if you're interested in doing that. And we also have breakfast. It's a great time. I mean, when else can you eat a parfait with your state delegate? So it's really interesting. And if you are aware of state government in Virginia, you know that we've been redistricted a little bit in the last 2 years. Some of our longtime legislators have retired, and we have some newer faces at the table representing the Bedford area. So if you're interested in getting to know your state legislators, I really recommend coming to this event. It's first thing in the morning on March 4th from 7:30 a.m. to 9 a.m. You can come before work. We're going to have networking, of course. And also, we're really, really excited to be able to provide 1 complimentary ticket to every single chamber member organization. So if you want to come, or maybe you're not sure if you're a member, ask your boss, ask your supervisor. They probably know. You can also go on our website, bedfordareachamber.com, because we have a full business directory there, and you can see if your business, if your employer is actually a chamber member with us. Also on bedfordareachamber.com is a full calendar of events. So you can learn more about both of these things I just talked about and more. We have a lot of things going on for this year. We try to keep ourselves busy. I do want to get to today's guest, but I also really want to thank our sponsor, Mark Snowden with Lamar Outdoor Advertising, for providing our refreshments this morning. Thank you, Mark. And if anybody wants to learn anything else about us, check it out at the end. I'll have our phone number, everything. And you can also just drop us a link online or with our emails or anything like that. But let's get to the reason why we're here. Please allow me to introduce today's guest, Tony Martin with Bedford Urban Garden. Welcome.
Thanks. I'm delighted to be here.
I know you just listen to me talk a lot. Thank you so much for coming out this morning. Is this your first time being on the podcast? A podcast ever?
I think it is my first time ever on a podcast. Yes.
Oh, good. I hope you're not nervous.
I'm moderately nervous.
Moderately nervous?
Not too bad.
Okay.
I think I can handle it.
We'll iron out the nervous wrinkles as we talk. I swear it's just a conversation.
Sure.
Well, before we kind of dive into some of the questions that I have in the back of my mind, can you tell us just a little bit about yourself and then about Bug?
Yeah. Well, I moved to Bedford County in 1984, and with the dream of being a farmer, believe it or not. And for 17 years, we lived on a farm in Sedalia.
Oh, wow.
And raised our kids there and everything. And as any farmer knows, it's kind of hard to make a living as a farmer. And so I started teaching on the side, and that side gig became my main gig. And I was a teacher in Bedford County Schools for 23 years.
Oh, wow.
I retired, I think it was about 7 years ago. But in my teaching, I did a lot of gardening stuff with kids.
I remember this.
Yeah, Foster actually was at Bedford Elementary when I was teaching there.
Yes.
And I was a resource teacher, so I got around all the classes. And so she experienced some of my lessons, I think.
Just a couple of them, but I do remember the garden that we started at BES very well, because you let us choose the vegetables we wanted to plant, and we were planting all sorts of crazy, colorful things that we didn't actually know what they were.
Yes. What's it called? It's a kale. It was called,
yeah.
It's called neon lights or something. It's got some spicy name, and it's for a very colorful, different colored stems. I remember that was a popular one with third graders.
Exactly.
Yeah. So when I retired from teaching, I got a part-time job working at the Y, and I helped establish a garden there. That was a teaching garden for kids. And beautiful, wonderful 3/4 of an acre space. And I did that for 5 years, and that was a lot of fun. And anyway, so I had this gardening background, and so somebody from the Bug invited me to join the board about maybe 7 years ago. And I've enjoyed working with that community garden. Bug, by the way, stands for Bedford Urban Garden, and the urban part is a bit of a stretch, I know, but Bug is a cute acronym. So
it is.
Anyway, yeah, so Bug is why I'm here.
Yeah, that's really interesting. So Bug got you right as you were retiring. They're like, "Oh, you're gonna have some free time now. Come spend it with us."
Right.
And the YMCA garden, it is absolutely gorgeous. I actually had Mary Jo Boone, who the CEO, on the podcast for the first of the year, and the garden is amazing. It's grown so much over the last 7 years, and we had a tour with Lieutenant Governor Winsome Sears, and she came to the garden. And once we got to the Y, people are always blown away that the Y isn't just gym facilities. And once we got to the garden, we were off track by like an hour and a half on our schedule because we were just spending so much time eating the cherries and looking at the chickens. And Mary Jo was talking about the kitchen that she wants to put in there.
Yeah.
And it's an amazing resource. And you're not the first person who's not necessarily Y affiliated to talk about it. I know that the master gardeners are also very passionate about that garden.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not involved in the day-to-day of the garden anymore, but I do keep bees there.
Oh, really?
So I still have a little bit.
Oh, that's cool.
Connection. Yeah. So, Bug. It's a community garden.
Mm-hmm.
And we have, it started in, the planning of it started in, I think, 2013, and 2015 was actually the first year that they had were growing things. So this is our 10th growing season, which is kind of cool. And the growth during those 10 years is pretty amazing. We started out with like, I don't know, 8 or 10 beds, and now we have 53 beds.
Wow.
And the infrastructure has grown right along with that. We used to have to catch water in cisterns, and now we have the city water hooked up.
Oh, that's awesome.
And
where is Bug located?
Okay,
first of all?
It's if you know where Beals is, and it's right near there on that road, which I should know the name of the road, shouldn't I?
Is it Grove Street? Is it Grove Street over there, Woody? You're technically on Grove Street too, so I know it snakes around. Oh, Woody's going to check for us.
I come to it.
Yep, it is Grove Street.
I come to it by way of Bedford Avenue.
Yeah.
And but it's no longer Bedford Avenue when you cross Bridge Street.
It is Jackson Street.
Jackson.
Connects to Grove Street. It's so close.
Okay, there you go. Jackson Street. Next time I'm on a podcast, I will know that.
It's okay.
Yeah. So, we have beds for rent, and I swear it's if you're into gardening, it's really a great deal, especially if you're into gardening in town where the deer will just make havoc with your whatever you plant unless you build a fortress around it. There's a fortress around this garden.
There is.
There's a high fence, and the fence also goes underground to keep groundhogs out.
Oh, nice.
So that in and of itself is great. But then for $50 or $60 a month, not a month, for the year, for the growing season, you get a bed that's 10 feet long or 12 feet long and 4 feet wide. And the soil is compost from Royal Oak Farms, and it's loose and it's fertile, and you don't have to do anything except put stuff in it.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And there's sheds where the tools are available. There's even some seeds available for people to help themselves too. There's water. There's pests. It's all organic. So there's organic pesticides and herbicides if you need them. There is expert advice if you need it. Our garden manager, Jim Ravel, will answer any question you have. And there's nobody more expert in organic gardening than he is. So it's just a wonderful opportunity for somebody who wants to be successful in gardening. It really, you can't miss.
Yeah, that's amazing. Somebody told me I try to garden. Both my parents, we live out in the country. They're very passionate about gardening. We've done it our whole lives. I live in town now and I rent. So I try not to go too hard on my landscaping because I don't own my property.
Yes.
But one of the first things that I did that I've actually sank a good amount of time and money and effort into is there's a flower bed in front of my house and I wanted it to be a garden. So the first year I lived there, I dug up all the drainage rocks. I changed the soil. I actually put in like a different type of drain so that it would be better. And my garden was horrible. There's not enough sun. And there's no sun on my property. So the next year I planted some flowers. It kind of worked. I finally got desperate. I planted mint. I should have never done that. Oh, I know your face. Everybody's made that face when I say that.
That's all you'll ever have in it.
It's all I'll ever have. I mean, at least I have something. But Bug, if I had just rented a bed, I could have saved myself all that heartache.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I have a serious garden going at home, or have for years, and the deer have just gotten so bad. And I put up these fences, and they just crash right through them. And I mean, sometimes you'll look out in the yard, and there'll be like a dozen deer.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, living in town, you wouldn't think that the deer are everywhere. They're everywhere.
They're everywhere.
It's a nightmare.
Anyway, so the bug is definitely an antidote to that problem. The other thing I want to mention is that we have the rental beds, and we have to also have what we call giving beds. Mm-hmm. And there are 11 beds where we grow, where the board, and we have a wonderful board. It's like 12 people who are passionate about gardening, and it's a very active board, does lots of stuff. But when we have 12 beds that are designated for donating produce to either the Bedford Christian Ministries food pantry or the John Early Apartments. John Early Apartments is a subsidized apartment complex where folks on fixed incomes who maybe don't have access to fresh produce could. Anyway, last year we grew over 3,000 pounds.
Oh, wow.
And there's a harvesting crew that comes and twice a week and harvests from those beds, and then gives them to one of those two places. And it's really a nice program. And part of our mission is to give to the community in this way, and to offer fresh produce to underserved populations. And I said before that the urban is kind of a misnomer, which of course it is, but we do have one thing in common with urban areas, in that we have food deserts. There are places where if you don't have a car, you're kind of out of luck if you want to go to a grocery store. Especially since Winn-Dixie closed down years ago.
Oh, yes.
So anyway, fresh produce is something that is a need in our community. So we're really excited to be able to, in some small way, answer that need. The other kind of bed we have, and this is new in 2024, is what we call mentor beds. We have two beds reserved for a family that wants to learn how to garden. And we provide them, it's rent-free. They don't have to rent it, but we provide them with the tools and the seeds and the transplants and the knowledge. We have some folks who meet them twice a week at the garden, and they plant whatever they choose to plant, and we sort of walk them through a growing season. And last year we had a family, a single mom with 4 kids, and it was just great fun.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I think that the 3 types of beds, when people pass by Bedford Urban Garden, they often don't really know anything about it other than you can grow things there.
Yeah.
So there's a lot that you guys do that, like the educational component, the giving back, addressing food insecurity, trying to get people organic foods, and also just giving people access to things that they might not be able to have.
I want to mention, you mentioned educational component. I didn't mention that we partner with the Master Gardeners of Bedford a lot, and they do classes there in the fall and in the spring. So that's another way that we have an outreach in the community. And I also wanted to mention that we're looking for a new family for 2025 to be our mentors, our mentees rather. We will be the mentors.
So what is kind of the ideal person or family that would be interested?
Well, I want to pitch pretty wide, cast a pretty wide net. So I don't want to say
just anybody that
age
wants
or a certain
to
income.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ideally that it would be a family with kids.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So far I've gotten one response, of a couple that's interested, and that would be fine too if they're sincerely interested. And it is a commitment though, because they have to keep up the thing, and we ask that they come twice a week to make sure everything is growing well, and weeding and watering and all the tasks that.
So anybody that wants a new committed hobby.
Exactly. Yeah.
Perfect.
Right.
Because that's the thing about gardening is you're exactly right. If you don't keep up with it, all your hard work goes to waste. It's terrible.
Yeah. So
you mentioned the giving beds and that you raised, was it 3,000 pounds of food last year?
Mm-hmm.
That's amazing. With 12 beds?
Yeah, and I have to tell you that was down from the previous year because
really?
it was so dry last summer.
It was.
That the previous year, I think it was like in the neighborhood of 5,000.
Wow,
so,
that's amazing.
Yeah.
And for the giving beds, the giving part, are people able to help grow? Are people able to donate financially to help the beds?
Yes and yes.
Okay.
In fact, the renters often give their excess produce to the giving program. So that's part of the poundage that we're talking about. We're always looking for volunteers to help us we have work days where we spread mulch on the paths or top off the beds with compost or whatever tasks are required. And the renters and the board often show up for those, and they're actually fun. It's working on the land by yourself. I know from experience can be a lonely thing and a not fun thing. I mean, it can be fun too, but it is absolutely fun when you're doing it with a bunch of people.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's my favorite part of Bug, actually, is the community building that happens when people work together. So we're always looking for people to help out at the garden. And of course, financial donations too. We are a 501c3, and we have a fundraiser every year, and we take donations, and we have a 5-year plan that,
oh, wow.
Every year we've grown and added new beds, and so there's always things to do and things that require funds. So of course we were happy to have donations.
Well, that's excellent. And your 5-year plan, oh, that's a doozy. It's hard work to do strategic plans.
Well, yes, and I was not president when that happened. And I'm in awe of how that came about, and
Well, now that you are president, what are some of the things that you're looking forward to in the future with Bug, or that maybe you would want to do? I won't make you commit to anything you might say.
Yeah, well, when we were doing the 5-year plan, we were talking about expanding, and we did. It was one phase of that was to enlarge part of the garden and add 10 new beds, and we did that. And it'll be interesting to see how the demand matches the number of beds we have. I know we have a waiting list right now for beds.
Oh, really?
But there's talk of we talked about this of expanding at another location.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and that's
really cool.
That's like pie in the sky, in the future dream. But I don't want to give up on that idea.
Yeah.
On the other hand, you can grow too fast and too much, and then not be able to do well what you do well. So I guess as president, I hope that we can continue to do well what we're doing, and improve on it where we need to improve. But it's really what we have now is pretty darn good. So I guess my goal as president is not to mess it up.
That's a good goal. And there's always, when you're working for nonprofits, either as a volunteer or as paid staff, there's always going to be more that you can do. And I think understanding your capacity is one of the top things.
Yeah, and growth for its own sake is not a good thing, I don't think.
No.
Usually.
But it's amazing that you guys have a wait list.
Yeah. Yeah. And back to the giving beds, we also there was a couple of folks that have large gardens out in the county or in town even, who who give us produce,
Oh, really?
excess produce of theirs. So if somebody is of that, if somebody is seriously gardening at home, doesn't need to rent a bed, but would like to contribute to our giving program, then that's also an option.
That's awesome. It seems like you guys have a lot of community support, different organizations and businesses coming through for you.
Yeah, we do. And a lot of the building projects we have, for example, or companies will donate building supplies
that's
for
awesome.
us. And just yesterday we refurbished a couple of, we started with these wooden beds, and of course they rot over time, even if they're pressure treated. And we're replacing them with metal ones, wood frames with metal. And much of that material was donated to us. So,
that's awesome.
Yeah. And darn if I should mention who donated it, but I don't know.
That's okay. See, this is what happens when I put you on the spot. It's all right. But maybe they'll comment on Facebook or something and be like, hey, that was us. You're welcome. Oh, so funny. Well, I think you talked a little bit about food deserts and about how certain parts of the county and the town don't have access to healthy food. I know that you guys serve the John Arley Apartments, but I'm wondering, I know that giving has to be limited, but I'm wondering if people from the county, not just the town, are ever involved with any, like, renting beds or with donations or anything like that. I know it's probably more town people.
It is. I don't know the answer to that. Our renters are, I'm sure that we have some renters from the county, but I don't know how many where
That's
they
okay.
live. But on the subject of food deserts, Elba's, for a while, that grocery store went dark. And boy, what a hardship that was on that part of the town. There were people who depended on that store, who walked to that store for their groceries, and I'm really glad it's back up and running again. But we're constantly looking for ways to help the underserved parts of our town, and county too, for sure.
Yeah,
bring them on.
I think it's awesome that we have a lot of people working towards, like, healthy living and healthy foods in town now. And also the Otter Bus. That's a great
I was going to
resource.
mention that.
Yes.
Anybody can get to our garden by hopping on the Otter Bus. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's kind of funny. I feel like healthy living, whatever that may mean, whatever form, that has been, like, kind of a common theme over the last couple podcast episodes. I had Erica McFadden with the Bedford Farmers Market on last week, and she was talking about their SNAP program that they're able to give low-income people and people with EBT at the farmers market so that they can access organic, healthy foods. And they have a new grant-funded program through the Virginia Cooperative Extension for Healthy Bucks for Kids. So it's really cool to see it all kind of coming together in different ways. You all do different things.
Yeah.
But
they complement each other.
They do. And it's excellent. And I think it's really interesting just to see it all come together. I know part of it is probably BARC, the Bedford Area Resource Council, and also Denny Huff, because their canning project is also an excellent
some of our
initiative.
board members are active.
Of course they are.
Both of those things.
Of course they are.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Well, I'm curious now, how often do you work on the bug garden?
Well, last year I rented a bed.
Oh, you did?
Yes, for the first time.
In addition to
fed up with the deal. And so I went there quite frequently and did stuff. Absent that, there's the work days, which we have maybe 2 or 3 in the spring and 2 or 3 in the fall.
Nice.
And there's usually on a Saturday morning. There's all the board members sign up to water the garden in the summer couple weeks you're in charge of
Mhm.
watering, and if you're lucky, it will have rained and you don't have to do anything. But
Fingers crossed.
yes, yeah, dragging hoses around and watering all those 10 beds is a pretty big job.
Yeah, it is.
So you do that a couple weeks out of the year, 2 or 3 weeks. Yeah, and then, of course the board meetings once a month, and it's not it's not overwhelming, but
Well, you enjoy it.
I
and
enjoy it.
I can tell from everything you've said, and also the look on your face, that you love it, and that's amazing. And I think it's kind of I don't know. Growing up in Bedford is really interesting because you see things in your childhood and things go away and things come and things pass, but things don't often stick around for a long time. And it's amazing to see that type of growth. And it's just, I think when you start to make that type of impact on the community latches onto it, embraces it, and supports it.
I hope so. That sounds great.
Yeah, I know I can make it sound really good.
Yeah.
Well, is there anything else that you want to share this morning? I know we've talked about a decent bit.
Nothing comes to mind at the moment. I'm sure after we sign off, something will occur to me.
Oh, well, something just occurred to me. What would you say to somebody that might be interested in gardening and they are a little bit nervous to get into it?
Great question.
Thank you.
Well, it would be wonderful for them to rent a bed at Bug and have the support that is there in the way of know-how and tools and fertile soil. In a way, it's it's almost too easy at the Bug. If they came away from that year in gardening and tried to do it at home and just dug up a piece of the backyard, it would be very different.
Yes.
But that said, of course, come and have fun with us at Bug. I want to mention too. I did mention that we're looking for mentees for 2025, and we have a website, we have an email, we have a phone number, and you put that up somewhere where people can. I don't know it off the top of my head.
I can. Here, let me find it really quick.
Oh, shoot! I should have brought it with me. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. See, this is what happens when we could just come up with more and more and more of great things to talk about. So, Bedford Urban Garden. They have a website. It's a great website. The address is 406 Jackson Street. And if you want their email, it's urbangardenbedford@gmail.com. And their phone number is 540-425-5315.
Oh, that's great.
I've got all the stuff.
Well, you're good.
Thank you.
So you must have had good teachers.
Something like that. Oh. Well, this has been awesome. Thank you so much for joining me today.
It's been my pleasure.
Well, excellent.
Foster, thank you for inviting me.
Of course. And you might see more of me. I might have to get on that wait list for a bed.
Well, yeah. Okay.
Or you guys could maybe just build me one. Expand a little bit, just by one. Well, thank you again for coming on today.
Thanks. Thank you.
Well, if anybody wants to learn more about us at the Chamber, you can call us at 540-586-9401, or you can visit our website, bedfordareachamber.com, for more information about our mission and the perks of becoming a member. Also on our website, as I mentioned before, is a full directory of our membership, which is helpful for finding all sorts of great things in the region, including Bug. That's all for today. Thanks so much for listening, and keep an ear out for the next Chamber Vibes podcast.